welcome to my very first moto vlog. Hello, Copper. We're gonna drop into third gear and act like nothing's happening. Don't make eye contact. Don't make eye. Okay, you're good. Don't pull out behind me. Don't pull out behind me. I think we're all right. I need to get a pin lock for this visor. Oh my goodness, it fogs up like crazy. Okay, buddy, go. I'm gonna go too. Never used to have a problem with this visor fogging up, but now that I got a honking GoPro assembly in front of it, it kind of it tends to do that. So, well, I guess I ought to go over how I actually found the bike. So, I really wanted a bike for a long time. I loved motorcycles the second I was old enough to realize what the hell it was. And I've always loved Harleys. Like, I really wanted a Harley, but I could not afford a Harley. I was surprised I could afford this thing at the time. I really wanted a bike, and I was looking up affordable bikes, and the bike that I was kind of narrowing my search around was actually a 2018 Honda Rebel 500. It was branded a good beginner bike. It was branded a reliable bike, so you wouldn't have to wrench on it too much, and of course with it being brand new, I was like, okay, cool, so no problems. The problem was, I'm 6'5", and when I went to go sit on that bike of course has mid controls and not forward controls like this bike has. But this bike actually has forward controls and an extension kit for the forward controls that I just put on the other day myself. Aww. Super comfortable. But when I hopped on the Honda Rebel, I was too naive to actually come to the senses that, oh, this is cramped. I just wanted a bike. And so when I went and sat on one, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And I had a buddy of mine, it was actually David. I had David come with me, and I had him take a picture of me on the bike. And we sat on that bike, we sat on a bunch of other bikes. I had this, I think it was a Kawasaki, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a chopper looking bike. It was really cool. I sat on that one, and that one was way more comfortable because of course that had forward controls. What I really was putting my mind, trying to wrap my head around the Honda Rebel. You know, it was affordable for what it was. It was like a $6,000 bike. So to me, that was affordable at the time. And I had no inclination to look for a used bike because I was like, okay, used means abused. And so I don't want to deal with that. So I was like, if used is abused, I don't want to mess with that. So I didn't even bother looking for used bikes until my dad and I were taking a bunch of bags of aluminum cans to a recycling plant, and the truck broke down. The gasket around the rear end, the gasket in the rear end blew, and all the oil was leaking out everywhere. And so we tried getting somebody to come out and fix the truck, but no one would come out, and we had to call a towing company. And the tow truck showed up, pulled the truck up, pulled the little trailer we had behind it, and I had to sit in the middle. So we're sitting in the middle, we're going down the road, and I see this big wheel. And I saw it, and I pointed it out to my dad. I was like, hey Dad, look at that thing. He was like, yeah, that's pretty wild. And the tow truck driver was like, oh, I saw you caught a glimpse of that motorcycle, huh? And I was like, yeah, that thing's pretty cool, you know, I've wanted a motorcycle for a while. He was like, yeah, I got bikes, you know, I got used bikes, you know, I get used bikes all the time. And I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, you can find some pretty good used bikes on like Craigslist. I was like, huh. So we got home, unloaded the truck. I had to go to work, and after I got home from work, I kind of forgot. I take that back. I did not forget about it the rest of that day because I was really gung-ho on trying to find a motorcycle. I really wanted a bike. So I got home that day, and I hopped on my phone, and I looked up used motorcycles near me, and to believe it or not, this was the first one that showed up, and it was actually at a dealership. It was called Motorcycles of Dallas, and it was there, and the price point on it was way more affordable, like $2 grand under the Honda Rebel. And I noticed the low miles on it, and I was like, okay, that's really awesome, like super affordable, but what's wrong with it? So I called him up, and I was like, hey, I'm calling in regards to the Suzuki Boulevard you guys have there. Can you tell me a little bit about it? She was like, sure, it's a 2008 Suzuki Boulevard. It has 7,000 miles on it. It's got an 800cc motor, and it's been through 2 owners. And when she said it's been through 2 owners, it kind of threw up a red flag for me, because I was like, okay, why has it gone through 2 owners, and why is it back for sale? And she said it went through 2 owners because it's kind of like a beginner bike, and they bought it as just a commuter, and then finally, once they got used to it, they traded it in for something bigger. And I was like, oh, okay, so the bike is fine. Like, the bike was just, you know, it wasn't abused. And she was like, no, the bike's in near about perfect condition. Actually, I think she said the bike was in perfect condition, because nothing was wrong with this bike. Like, this bike hadn't even been down. The 2 owners kind of threw me off, and then once she told me that, you know, it wasn't abused, it was just used as a commuter, and they just traded in to get something bigger, I was like, okay, perfect. Now I need to go and sit on this bike. And that's the most crucial part about buying a bike. You have to go sit on it. Like, I don't care how cool it looks, you know, how fast it says it goes. You have to go sit on it to make sure that it's going to be comfortable. And after sitting on the Honda Rebel and then going and sitting on this was like a night and day change. Like, I did not expect this bike to feel as comfortable as it did. Just turned my high beam on for no reason. Well, that took a little longer than expected. Had to drive all the way out to Harrisonburg, get some stuff for work. But now we are on the way home. Wind is being a pain in my butt. Mainly because I don't have a windshield and it's buffering like crazy. I don't know if it's called buffering or buffeting. I think it's probably buffeting. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. Yeah, without a windshield on this thing, it being open, yeah, you get all the wind. All of it. So, ooh, you know what I should do? I should stop by and say hello to David. I don't know if he's working today. Nah, I'll do it some other day. Hi, Mini Coop. You know how pissed I would be if I get all the way home and notice, like, my mic wasn't plugged into the adapter, and so this whole time it's just been nothing but, like, footage of me riding around. I'd be so mad. Well, I can check on that in my rearview mirror. So I got the pluggy in. I got that pluggy in, and my battery's still in. So cool. Doing good. Hello, Pumpy. Tile terrazzo. Don't know how to spell that word. Terrazzo stone fabrication. Bumpy. I like saying that word. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, big guy. With all these clouds being all sporadic, it's a really beautiful day. Like, being able to see some blue sky and the sun, you know, basking down on you, it's really a nice day. I could do without the wind, but beggars can't be choosers, am I right? I hate how I stumble over my words. I stumble. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Ah!